They say, you know what they say, if if it's if it's for butts, candy and nuts, right? You know what they say, if it's for the fifth, if is
Okay.
the biggest word in the English dictionary. We back here, folks. We back here, folks. This your man Cam. Got my man Cleavon up there in the northwest. What's happening? What's you guys had a little heat wave up there, huh? What you guys
Man,
there for the cool off?
sweltering, and I'm on the third floor. Man, it was horrific those 4 or 5 days, man. But we're back to mid 70s, low 80s.
A little
Back
rain.
to a little bit more pleasant. Yeah.
You got a little rain. A little back to a
And
little
it's
bit
not
more
rained yet. It has not rained
normal.
yet. I
Little
can't
normal.
say it's not on the way, but it hasn't rained yet.
So did Seafair come back after the was Seafair this
Yeah,
weekend?
Seafair's about to be off the chain this weekend.
Oh, is this so? They had the torchlight last weekend, and then
Right.
the boat races are this weekend.
Boat races are this weekend.
Boat races, that's the best weekend in
Blue
Seattle.
Angels.
Best weekend in Seattle by far, no doubt about it. The boat races, hydroplanes on Lake Washington. If you don't know, you need to experience it one time. Nearly the whole city shuts down. Nearly the whole set, at least that half of the city shuts down because they cut off all, they block off all the streets,
Yeah.
so you can't really get nowhere. So that's on one side of this town, um, but nearly half the city shuts down. And when the Blue Angels start slicing through the air and those sound waves start hitting you, you essentially stop what you're doing.
Formations.
You
Yeah,
know what I
you
mean?
got to watch. It's
You
must
got
see. It's must see.
you
Yeah.
got to stop what you're doing and pay attention to look over your shoulder, figure out where they're coming over the mountains behind the trees, figure out where they're coming from. But you got to pay attention. Yes, yeah, that's a torchlight weekend. It used to just be the weekend. Now they got to stretch it out for 2 weeks. Um, but yeah, torchlight. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the. I don't know. All right, here I'm back now. As I stated, this year, man, Cam, we got a lot to talk about this week. We're going to get into some NFL topics. The NFL tried to come after my Miami Dolphins and the head coach there. The NFL all of a sudden now they bring in an arbitrator, the lady, to do all the arbitration rules. She makes her first ruling, and Goodell says, no, 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 I don't like that. We're going to have to go back and discuss that. So we're going to get into that conversation now. The NFL now wants to NFL versus Watson, and I got a feeling you're on the NFL side for some reason. Um, and then we're gonna see if we can get a Geno Smith or Drew Lock update. We're gonna see how things are going up west. I mean, I know they're kind of hidden up there, but we got to find out from our Northwest correspondent what's going on in Northwest in that quarterback race. Like I said, we got some NBA topics that we're gonna get in, or some NBA topics that we're gonna talk about. We want to know. We're gonna. This is actually a topic I want to revisit, considering uh, Jay Crossover had his um, recent pro amateur game right over the weekend, and I think we saw Apollo play more minutes in that game than he played in all of summer league. In one weekend, he played than he did in a week in summer league. So we're gonna revisit that conversation that Cleveland had and see if it still makes sense what they're doing in summer league. So, well, thank you guys for tuning into the show. You can be a participant in the show by just hitting the chat button. Anybody want to participate in the show? We got a chat for you. Some guys say got something to say, or you can hit me up on Twitter. It's at underscore voice of the fans. That's at underscore voice of the fans. Cleveland's going to say something ridiculous, fans. So you got to be prepared to respond to what he has to say. At underscore voice of the fans. We with you. So let's start this week off. Each and every week, Cleveland, we started off with our numbers game. It's August 3rd, 2022, my man. Football season is here in a couple weeks, so we're gonna get into some fantasy football conversations as well. It's week 201 of Voice of the Fans podcast. So it'll be August 3rd, Cleveland. We're gonna look at the number three. Who wore that number best, or when you think of the number three, who first come to your mind? Uh,
Cam, I mean, it being football season and training camp, the person that comes to mind first would be Russell Wilson. Person wore it best, probably D Wade.
D Wade better than A Rod? Is A Rod going to the Hall of Fame?
We'll see how they feel about certain things that transpired, during A Rod's career, but quite possibly.
But when he goes up and play in New York, and then he's on the Fox TV for in the Major League
He's on
Baseball.
ESPN. Sure, he does his thing. Yeah, that's great. I
Hasn't
mean,
he kind of
and
made up for some things?
again, only five players ever hit, 600 home runs. So that's monumental. But I mean, there's a little side story to that. So
Yeah, I mean, but you go stay, put your time in New York, man. All of a sudden, everybody loves you, and that's all you need to do, right?
not necessarily. I mean, the question
Okay,
was who comes to mind first. That'd
okay,
be Russ.
okay, okay.
Who wore it the best so far? It's D Wade.
All right, and with it being this 201st show, we look at the number one, and first person you come to your mind when you think of the number one, and I'm gonna say it right off the bat is Gus Williams. I think of number one. I think of Gus Williams. And how about you? You probably
Nice.
don't. You probably don't
As
even know
far
who Gus
as
Williams
far
is.
as who kind of comes to mind first,
Well,
it's
hold on.
probably Trace. It's
Do
probably
you?
Trace McGrady. Who wore it best?
Oh my
It's Warren
goodness.
Moon.
Do you even know who Gus Williams is, Cleveland?
I do.
Do you?
I have a picture right here with the entire
Uh,
roster of the 1979 World Champion Supersonics right here on my wall. He's
just
standing
so
right there in the front, right
just
next to
happens
Dennis Johnson.
just
Oh, and I
so
used to
happens
also
it's out
have
of
a
screen, huh?
Nike poster with Gus and DJ. So
Just
yeah,
happens
man,
it's out of screen, huh?
Don't try and Gus Williams shame me, dude.
Just so happens it's out of screen, huh? It's out of the screen, huh? Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. So you don't, hey, you don't have to make some adjustments for me, man.
You
I'm
see
just
it?
saying. I'm
You
just
see
saying.
it?
It just so happens it was out of
Okay.
screen, though.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay. You
you
always
really have to.
question it. You
You
always
really didn't have
question
to
it,
make no
man. Like
adjustments
it's
for
not real.
me.
Like I'm not really saying what's really going down. No, it's right here every day.
Um, well, somebody who was right here every day for a long time, NBA lores, was Mr. Bill Russell. Um, over the weekend, he passed away, and they say he passed away peacefully in his home in Mercer Island, man. So I know you weren't around to see Bill Russell play. But I don't know if you was around to pay attention to see him coach. Um, what was your lasting memory of Bill Russell?
You know, probably more. Not only was he the greatest winner the game's ever known, but I mean, probably as I got older, a little bit more of his efforts within the civil rights movement. The meeting with him and Muhammad and Kareem and Warfield, and that was
Classic picture,
very
classic.
very monumental as well. And then just the respect and accolades that he's garnered over the years. Now the trophy is named after him, and it's been a quite a journey for him. But he just was always someone that you looked up to, admired, respected for just the way he carried himself on and off the court.
Um, Bill Russell is. I never got to meet Bill Russell, um, but everything you hear about him is he was a stand-up dude and doesn't hold no punches. Um, high school championship, two back-to-back championships at the University of San Francisco. Cleveland, the two won 11 championships in 13 seasons.
Yeah, throw the gold medal in there in between the college championships and the 11.
11 championships in 30. We're not talking about Kareem's 20 years or LeBron's 20 years and moving on 20. 13 seasons he was in the NBA championship 11 times. That's amazing. That's I what I don't know what category or how you want to what category you want to focus on when you think about winning or winners, or do you want to think of finals? Do you want to think about rings, ultimately rings? How you like to think? You want to think about getting there? You want to think about closeout games when you have 21 closeout games and his teams go 21-0? Like, um, Cleveland, I don't necessarily like to disparage one person to prop up another person, but I wouldn't say my lasting memory, but one of the strongest memories I have is of Bill Russell is the fact that even at 70 years old, he was convinced that he was better than Bill Russell or Wilt Chamberlain, excuse me. And it was the fact that the number disparity that they each had when they played. I think if I'm not looking at the numbers, if I remember correctly, for his career, Wilt Chamberlain averaged 30 and 15, and Bill Russell averaged like 20 and 15, 20 and 17. But each time they played together, played each other rather, Bill Russell won that matchup. He wasn't the most athletic. He didn't have all that the hype. He didn't have the most numbers in the black book. But he came out there and locked up Wilt Chamberlain every time. So when we talk about Wilt Chamberlain, you question how do I have Wilt Chamberlain in the top 10, or why don't I have Wilt Chamberlain in the top 10? Well, this one dude was able to lock him up every time they played. And when you have the disparity of uh, um, 11 out of 13 and the other guy only has one, I mean, there's even nothing to talk about there. So,
That's
kudos,
two. It's two.
yeah, two. Well, he was a factor. He was a major contributor on one, but you know what I mean. I think the one only came against Russell. Um, Another Russell, and then you talk about obviously his off the court stuff, and he just was a man who spoke his mind and didn't hold any punches. Um, so kudos to Bill Russell for living. He lived a good life, and he got the trophy named after him. I think that's pretty cool too. So he'll live on forever in infamy. But yeah, we lost a good one. NBA world lost a good one. So this weekend. So I just thought I'd get your feedback on what Mr. Bill Russell, your lasting memory of Mr. Bill Russell. So the KD saga continues, man. The KD saga continues. You know where I stand. I would not have traded him. I would have thought it looks like that's holding everything up because I would have thought Kyrie would have been out of there by now. So uh, it just appears. I mean, it's summertime now. Maybe people are on vacation. It's not a top of mind issue right now. But do you expect KD and Kyrie to run it back with Brooklyn next season?
At least for half the season, Cam. I mean, we'll have to see what they can do. I mean, the market for Kevin Durant is just not favorable. It's not favorable because the teams that have the most assets to make that trade happen are in a position where they can't actually make a trade for him. So the other teams that are, still relevant and available don't have enough assets to do it. So after it's, dragged on for this long, that's clearly where we're at with things.
Yes, it's. I'm not surprised that it's drug on because, again, as I stated, I wouldn't have I wouldn't trade KD. Period. But I would have been a little bit more anxious to get rid of Kyrie. Again, as I stated multiple times before, it's addition by subtraction by getting rid of him. Did you hear what Shaq had to say on KD? Shaq said, "You built the house, you should stay in the house." Was that contradictory of Shaq to throw that out there?
Very much so. And, he's not in the same environment. And, he's always kind of been the focal point of any, team, the franchise player, so to speak. And has never really gotten into a situation where he, demanded a trade. Um, obviously the situation with him and Kobe was, tenuous at times. And, at times it was just fine. So, Yeah, to jump in and kind of say, well, you put this together, so you got to deal with it. I mean, yeah, that's not really how this generation operates or functions. So, yeah, that sounds very old schoolish.
He said, "Not this generation doesn't function like that." Um, yeah, it does sound old schoolish. Kind of, you think Shaq is experiencing now the kind of get off my lawn syndrome that older cats seem to do?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah. It's a thing now. Especially people that haven't grown up in social media don't have the same sensitivity levels that the players of today do, or the freedom and opportunity to just say, "I just don't like it here" and just leave. I mean, that's a whole other thing. So, yeah.
Um, so we have Amon Shumpert running through the Dallas airport with his bag of weed. Um, should he have known better? Do you think he's gonna get off real soon? What do you think?
Was not aware Amon Shumpert was running through the airport with a bag of weed, but
Yeah, Dallas airport.
well, hopefully he gets a slap on the wrist and a severe fine as opposed to just being locked up for an unlimited, unforeseen amount of time. I mean, so, but it is
Uh,
Texas, and you never know. Texas is a
it
little
is.
bit different. If it was
It is Texas.
Cali, it would be like, man, that was kind of dumb. If it was
Yeah,
Colorado, it'd
yeah.
be like, come on, dude. If it was Washington, it'd be like, come on, man. Have a little bit better judgment. But Texas, you never know.
You never know. So we have your guy, 10-year veteran, ex-Laker, looking for work in the off season. Your guy, Hoodie Mello. Is Mello going to play in the NBA next season?
We're not sure. We have to see what Melo feels like, see
Oh,
if he can get back in shape, see
he wasn't in shape
what his
last year.
mental mindset is and what's the best fit for Melo. I can't 100%
Oh, it's
guarantee
not the
that he's
Lakers.
going
It's
to.
not. It's not on the Lakers.
Lakers love him back.
What do you mean? What's the best fit for him? I mean, it's
I
not
mean, if
on the
he feels
Lakers.
that there's another place for him where he can make more money or have more opportunity to win a championship, which is really the only thing validating his career at this point, well, then,
wait,
nobody's going to stand in his way. But, certainly,
wait.
certainly there's a seat right here next to Melo and Brownie. I mean, if he wants to sit down and, hang out, that's cool.
Wait, so you're saying the Lakers aren't winning the championship next year because you saying if he wants to go somewhere else and win the championship. Is that what I'm hearing? That
No, what I'm saying is the Lakers winning a championship this season is primarily focused on what they can get out of Russell Westbrook if he has to stay, and B if they can get Kyrie Irving. If they can get Kyrie Irving, it's different. It's a different story.
so listen to the okay. So I wish I could have get my man Jovan Buha on. I need to get Jovan. Jovan, I'm calling you out. We text all the time. You need to come on the show, Jovan. Stop BSing with me. But he had a very interesting take. If it doesn't work out, would you send Russell home? Would you
No,
consider sending Russell home and just say,
no,
"Hey, Russ, it's not working out. Let's uh, uh just stay home."
that is not a consideration. No,
Why?
that's
Why not?
that's something you do with like the Houston Rockets did with John Wall. Yeah,
Right.
that's one of those kind of moves. Yeah. But see, the Lakers had LeBron James and Anthony Davis on their squad. The
And
Houston Rockets had a bunch of nobodies and
okay.
really had no position to stand on.
Wait. So having LeBron James and Anthony
And
Davis
John
on the
Wall was
squad,
not a
what?
former MVP of the
Answer the
league.
question.
So
Answer
yeah,
the question for me.
I just answered the question for you.
No,
Was it a
no,
different question?
no. Yes, it's a different question.
Okay.
What does Anthony Davis and LeBron James do for you? When you saying you have those guys on the team, what do you mean?
Well, they've already established by themselves they can win a championship given the right set of circumstances and the situation and
What?
health.
What if the league shuts down for 4 months and then puts them all in a
Oh wow,
bubble?
really? Is that why they won the championship? Because the league shut down for 4 months?
Yeah,
Is that the
absolutely
caveat to
right.
winning that championship?
Yeah, absolutely right.
That's
Your guys stay
blasphemy.
healthy. Your
Take
guys
that
stay
back.
healthy for 90
Take
days.
that back. Because everyone else played in the same environment that they did.
But your guy can only stay healthy for a few months a season.
What did I say? I said contingent upon the health of Anthony Davis and LeBron James.
Okay, so they had Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Weren't they wearing Laker jerseys last season?
They were not healthy, and actually, Anthony
Oh.
Davis was doing a little fashion show there on the sidelines of just all the gold and just incredible,
I'm glad you
gear that he
acknowledged
had.
that. I'm glad you acknowledged
Oh yeah, it
that.
was a fashion show every game. It was
I'm
like,
glad you
dude,
acknowledged that. What's up, Jack? I'm
yeah,
glad you acknowledged that. But
for real,
that
it was way over the top. Yeah.
why are we going to see anything different though? Will we
Oh,
see
because
anything?
hopefully he's healthy.
But dude, this is
And,
year
and, and we're
six.
the number
This is
three
year.
instead of
This is year six.
Couture and whatnot. I don't care.
This is year six. This is year six. So we haven't. He hasn't been healthy in consistent season since
It's
when?
only
1
his
year.
third year in Los Angeles.
So we don't want to count. We don't want to count those other years. Those other years don't count. Those other years. Okay, so let's look at just those years in Los Angeles. He's been hurt 2 of the 3 years in Los Angeles.
Okay, well,
Sixty
hopefully he's
percent of the
healthy
time,
this
he's
year.
60%
So
of the time.
how I'm so sorry, Mr. Ballmer's assistant. How many years has Kawhi Leonard been healthy?
We're not talking about Kawhi.
Oh,
We're not talking about him. We're not talking about him.
Let's talk about that.
We gotta stay on topic now. Stay on topic.
Okay, look, man, I have no confidence he will stay healthy. But if he stays healthy, yes, they are
But
a
if he
championship
does,
contender.
we're gonna be incredible. That's
Especially if you're throwing a Kyrie. Yeah.
You just throwing a Kyrie in there. Yeah, just like nothing else can happen. Just tossing Kyrie
or rejuvenated Russell Westbrook. It's up to him, man. It's not like everybody was like, waiting for him to fail. It's like, no, we need you to, help us win.
That's what it sounds like. You guys are just banging on the man. That's
okay, well, hey,
like.
man, it wasn't a great season last year. I think everybody can admit to that. Even Russell Westbrook.
All right, man. So you guys ain't gonna hold anybody accountable. Carmelo can't come back. Carmelo got 8 minutes a game. Carmelo got 8 minutes a game left.
Back. There's a spot right here next to him and Bronny. Bronny and Bron, man.
You guys warming up a seat. Has LeBron see? LeBron has a couple days to get, or LeBron has a couple days to convince Jeannie that to get Bronny on the squad. However, pull whatever string she can pull to make sure that.
Oh, that's a done deal.
Oh, that's already done.
That's a done deal. Yeah.
Oh, so this Bronny. So we're gonna have the same situation then as we had with Alonzo Ball. The local kid, the local favorite, is gonna come on in the.
No, this is way different. No, this is way. No. This is way different. Why would you make that kind of comparison? That's so childish. Wow.
What do you mean?
That's LeVar Ball, some personal trainer on the sidelines who has 2 kids that play college basketball and thinks they're really, really good. Adverse one of the top 5 players to ever pick up a basketball and has already won a championship for your franchise. Why would you make that comparison?
Because it is.
That's not a comparison.
That's
super duper gross, man. That's beneath you.
You guys are going to draft Bronny with the number 2 or 3 pick.
No,
and he's really a number 12 player.
Number 2 or 3 pick in the draft. No,
that's what you did with Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo Ball was
Jason Tatum.
Considered at the time one of the top point guards in the country. Adverse you doing a favor for your franchise player. That's a whole other thing. And a franchise player that's played 20 years in the league and won the championship. How many times, Cam?
Oh, so you're acknowledging that this would be a favor for.
Let's be a favor. Yeah,
you're acknowledging that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Everybody understands it would be a favor.
Oh, okay.
What were we just talking about at the summer league? Favors.
In favor, this.
You want to keep me happy? Would you like for me to stay in a Laker uniform? Would you draft my son? Yeah, sure.
Interesting. Okay, so LeBron is holding Jeannie over the barrel and saying either draft my son or I bounce.
It would be nice if you could draft my son. Okay. Well, we'll see how high we have to draft him, but man, we're not going to let him get away from us. Of course, we'll get him. And if somebody gets him, okay, well, I guess they got us. We got to trade for Bronny.
So what are you gonna give up for Bronny? What are you gonna give up?
Depends. I mean,
Are you gonna give? Are you gonna give up?
teams could get really cold and ruthless
I mean,
and be like,
are you
"Hey,
gonna get
we're
up
gonna take
Reeves?
Bronny with the third pick
Are you gonna
just
give up
because we know
Reeves?
you got to give us this."
Are
I
you
mean,
gonna
it could be.
Are you gonna give up Reeves for Bronny?
We don't know the environment just yet, man. We don't know. We don't know.
So you got, so yeah, I'm drafting Bronny just because I know you guys don't know. The Lakers
Yeah,
don't know how to what to do.
could be just that simple.
You guys don't know what to do, and then I'm gonna ask you guys for 4 number 1s. I'm not even gonna give him
Could
no
be.
playing time.
It could be.
He's
We
not even
don't
gonna play
know.
summer league. He's not even gonna play summer league. I need 4 number 1s. I need
Yeah,
a starter.
it could be just that cold. It could just be just that ill. You see it. It's a possible, right?
And
Because
then
this
so
has to happen.
I mean, so the only way we gonna see how we gonna see how ruthless and how many levers that Rich Paul has, because how does he make this frozen ball come through all the hoops and all the popcorn machine and everything? How does he make that one go right down to the Lakers line? How does he do that? Like,
But wait. You're coming at it like this is like some top prospect. Like, ooh, we got to get in the lottery to get Bronny James. No, man. No.
oh, you guys are gonna just draft him in the trade up or trade down to get him. That's whatever you're gonna do. Whatever you guys got to do to get him.
I mean, have you
Is
seen
that what
Bronny
it is?
play?
I mean, I see him shoot a jumper every now, from the top of the
Have
key. I
you
see him
seen him
get.
play?
I saw him get better. I see he's getting better though.
I mean, for real, does he look draftable?
Oh, you're saying he's not even draftable? You saying he gonna sign with the Lakers?
If his name was Bronny Nelson, he's not getting drafted. Not from what you've seen.
You say so. So let's make this straight. So let me get this straight. Now, so LeBron is going to force the Lakers to draft him with one of their second round draft picks, and he's not even worthy of being drafted.
I mean, at present, there's still a year or two to develop or whatever. But man,
Ooh, there goes. So
you've seen some late second round players like, wow,
ooh,
that was the conference player of the year. That's not Bronny. No.
All right, man. So speaking of Bronny and these young players coming into the league, is Bronny should he be playing summer league? You think he's gonna need to play summer league, or is playing around with his
Oh,
dad?
Bronny should definitely play summer league as many games as summer league has for him.
Oh,
as
really?
many games as are on the schedule. Yeah, he should be playing all of those.
Okay, so we had a conversation, pretty heated debate a couple weeks ago about summer league, whether you're playing would you call it Cleveland? Would you call it glorified scrimmages?
Glorified scrimmage, yeah.
Okay. What would you consider? How does that compare to the pro-am though? So we had the Drew League. The players are competing in over the last couple of weeks, where LeBron goes 42-12 and his team wins by 1 point. Or
so how that compares to the summer league for players that are the number 1 and 2 pick in the draft is more like in your backyard or that park around the corner from your house, and you just go and hoop for like 20 or 30 minutes. Adverse played against like the 7 pick and this offense and run this play. This is just pick up hoop. And it's nothing like that. The Drew League, the whatever, go to the Rucker. No, man. That's not structured basketball. That's not you running a play. That's not you trying to get some cohesion with your teammates. That's not you going up against, some of the top 10 players in the draft. That's you going to the gym like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm here. You guys want to see what I'm all about? Okay, cool.
So you don't put any stock
in 50 or 60 points and hang out.
You don't put any stock in Paulo dunking on these fools. Paulo with his drop step and turnaround dunk, like I mean, he got that damn drop step down. he
He's
got
got it.
the he got that
That drop
step
step spin.
up and
Yeah,
under, that
it's
spin
kind
up
of
and under. I mean, he got a package down
kind of
on the
filthy.
block.
That's very 206 style. Yeah,
He
that's
got a
cool.
package there on the block.
Yeah.
Um, so should they be playing in the? So you think the summer league? Should they be playing in these pro am games? And when I just,
Probably.
for lack of a
I
better
mean,
term,
if
saying pro.
I'm not going to be a hypocrite, probably not. I mean, it's kind of the same mindset, right? It's the same logic. Like you don't really have anything to prove, but at the same time, what you're doing is not so physically strenuous to you. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's the crossover league, man. It's you and Chad and some cats that nobody's 6'6" is tall in that league.
So, okay, Dejounte Murray. Do you get any stock to Dejounte's 42 and 12
Uh,
that he put up?
It's dope. It proves he loves the 206, and he's one of those guys, man. Yeah, but I mean, like, no,
And your
there's
guy,
nothing to there's no.
your guy Trey Sizzle had 37, I think, 37 and 15 or something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's great, man. That's great, man. In that exhibition game.
So he not giving it love. So you're like Eddie Johnson.
I
All
mean, he
this
can. I mean,
this stuff
man,
stinks.
he can shoot. Everybody knew that already, and he went to some game in the middle of nowhere and proved he could shoot. Man, yeah, he's filthy.
He went into a packed house. Okay. So what Cleveland doesn't understand fans, and this is what happened. This is all post
What Cam
2020.
doesn't understand is
This
that
is
it's
all post
not
2020.
against.
This is all post 2020. And so what this does is he doesn't understand, like, when you, it's not the same thing as when you bring 8 teams to Orlando and you say nobody can come on or off this campus. You're locked in, and we're going to play a basketball tournament for the next 3 months. Nobody can come in, no family, no friends, no nothing. Now go play. That ain't the same thing, Cleveland, is when you're in a packed house at Seattle U, a building with no air conditioning, and the fans are standing on the court right on the baseline because it's standing room only. And now you got to put a jumper and buckets against some guy who's out here trying to take your heart away. You don't see a difference there, or it's all the same?
And I'm embarrassed that you really put it out there like that in the manner in which you put it out there.
What do you
You,
mean?
you make the bubble seem like it was just some just whoever signed up and
No. I
responded to the
said it
email
was
first could come in and hoop.
it was the eight
No,
teams.
it's not really how it went down, man. This wasn't just anybody that could stay in the bubble. It was like the best players on the planet. This is
Well,
a crossover, man. There's no, like I just said, there's 6'6" is tall in this league. And none of them have any NBA. I mean, some of them have some NBA experience. Every once in a while, somebody might he's in the
I
league.
like
Oh wow,
Matherin. I like
that
Matherin,
one
Ninja.
game.
I like Matherin, by the way, Ninja. I like Matherin. I thought Detroit should have picked him up. Yeah, so you don't. So okay, he's not giving any stock to the guys in the
It's
summer
fun.
league.
It's exhibition, man. You're showing off in front of your hometown. That's great.
Okay, all right. If
So
that's
glad
what,
that you came away without being injured and everything was cool and everyone loves to see you. You're a 206 soldier for real. King 206 is Paulo's reign right now.
so what do you think about what do you think about Brunson, a potential Brunson and Donovan Mitchell backcourt in the Knicks? Did that scare anybody? Did that do anything for you? Why are the Knicks so hell bent on getting Donovan Mitchell?
Don't know.
Like it's not a that's not a game changing move to me. I think I wonder. Well, that Utah's not is going to be completely different now. So you can't say who's going to be better if they made that move. But I don't know. Am I missing something? Brunson's a little guard. Donovan Mitchell's a little guard. The two that means they're going to have a little backcourt. Um, I like Brunson. I like his floor generalship, if you will. I like how he leads the team.
Do you?
Yeah, he can. He did it in college. He can lead a team.
He did it in
Um,
college. Is
he
that
did
what
it.
you said?
Yeah, he did it in college. He did it in college. He did it the last year in the playoffs. He led a team. I think the only reason he was scoring is like he was is because Luca was out.
Oh,
But I think
oh,
I think he can. He's a serviceable point guard.
serviceable.
Serviceable point guard.
So we
I'm
have a
not.
serviceable point guard and a short shooting guard that's kind of moody.
Like I said,
It
I'm not saying.
doesn't
Look,
really
like I
bode
said.
well for success long term. And then you have a power forward that can only go one direction. I mean,
I mean, I'm not
yeah,
sure how long he's gonna stick around, but
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm missing something because
You're not missing anything. You're
they're
missing.
really
It
trying.
sounds really enthusiastic. I mean, you have the prodigal son coming home, and that one guy that scores a bunch of points out there in Salt Lake City on a team that never gets past the second round. I mean, I don't understand.
I don't even think they get to the second round with that team. Brunson,
No, I
Mitchell,
was saying, I mean,
Robinson.
parentally, Utah
Yeah,
at some
Utah.
point can
Right,
get to
right,
second.
right. Yeah, I
Okay.
agree with you. I'm saying I don't even think that team gets to the second round. The Knicks with Brunson, Mitchell, Robinson. I mean, whoever else they can conjure. Obi Toppin. I mean, is my man from USC still on the team? Who's the guy? Fucking power forward,
See, you
undersized.
see,
The undersized.
don't even worry about it.
Mm.
See, if you read you for names and are they still on the team, that means no.
No, do you know what I'm talking about though? The dude from USC. He goes with Chicago. He was with Chicago. He goes everywhere Tibbs goes. He's the power forward, undersized power
Oh,
forward.
Taj Gibson, yeah, he's
Todd
still there.
Gibson, yeah.
Yeah.
Todd Gibson.
He might still be there.
That's what I'm saying. So,
That's
so
terrible. Your clue was he goes everywhere. Tim's goes.
hey, you knew who I'm talking about. You
That's
knew
what I was
exactly.
talking about.
You knew exactly who
Taj
I'm talking
Gibson.
about. You know it
That's
wasn't Derrick
terrible.
Rose.
That's terrible.
So I'm
That
saying,
is
but he
terrible.
did. He went to
You didn't say
Minnesota.
he was good. You didn't say he does this or that. You said he goes everywhere. Tim's goes.
Taj is all right though. I don't like.
That's
I
your
don't
clue.
just. Taj
That's
is
terrible.
all right. Taj is
That's
all
all
right.
right.
He's just undersized power forward. He just
All
is
right.
just
Well, cool, man. Yeah.
at
Yeah.
6'3",
Okay.
six
So to
four.
answer your question, yeah, no, the Knicks, no, not so much.
Um,
Mm-mm.
yeah, Mitchell's gonna get a new deal. Ninja. Mitchell's gonna get a new deal. He's gonna get one, but I don't know that New York needs to give him a deal because that means trouble. That's
No, it just
I don't know
adds
what
to
it
the
does.
intrigue. It glosses over the situation that they don't have a true superstar, and it just makes it kind of a storyline you can kind of sort of follow.
So 2 seasons they're gonna be in the. I don't even think in 2 years they're gonna want to blow this up because they're not gonna go anywhere. Like that's
Oh,
not
in
a,
2 years they blow it up, man. They got
yeah.
to blow it up every 2 years, man. It doesn't
Shit.
work.
What other trade is out there that we missed that I'm missing on? Um, the Warriors, it look like they're coming back. They're gonna come back with their array of talent there.
Well, I mean, there is the one thing that I had heard. I don't know if it's the truth or not, but I mean, Draymond wanting like a max deal, like 40,
Come on,
like 40 plus $1 million a year.
come on, dude. Come on. I mean, come on. From not well, he can want a max deal. Um. Oh, he said no. He said they have to back up the truck for him. Back up the truck for you. Like we
I
back up
mean,
the truck. We
to
back it
be
up the
perfectly
moving
honest
van.
with you, one of the things that I admired the most about Draymond is that he understood kind of his role within that system and understood that his skill set is not something that's like transferable to other teams. Like if other teams are going to want you to score points, man. Other teams are
Yeah,
going to want you to
yeah.
do more than just set screens and play defense and yell at people, man.
Right,
It's not
right.
gonna,
That works on that team there.
yeah.
So you going somewhere else?
Yeah, they're going to want you to do a whole bunch of other
Yeah,
things that
they,
you
they're
can't
gonna
really do.
they're gonna want you to earn some money. So
Yeah.
Brogdon,
Brogdon to Boston, yeah.
Brogdon to Boston with Gallinari. Well, you know when you see Popeye used to fill the gaps on a boat on a sinking ship, you put your thumb in here, and you put your finger in there, and then you're like this, and then you're like this, and then you try to put your. Boston has filled all their holes with that trade. With bringing Brogdon in as a backup point guard, he's better than Derek White. I like Derek White, but Brogdon is better. He's a better scorer, better defender than Derek White. Then they also bring in Gallinari, a scorer off the bench. Gallinari told me. So if you remember when Luka came into the NBA and Luka said it's easier to score in the NBA than overseas. Do you remember? Did you remember Luka saying that? So I asked Gallinari that same question. I said, Gallinari, Luka says it's easier to score overseas than it is in the NBA. What do you think about that? Gallinari took a deep breath. Funniest thing I heard. He took a deep breath and he says, "It's easy for me to score anywhere." Oh, he said it's easy for me to score all over the world. I was Gallinari, mic drop, and then he walked away. I was like, okay. I thought it's a hysterical moment, but he's a scorer. I mean, he's not going to defend it. He's not going to defend anybody. Um, he's going to score. He's going to come in and you give him 15 minutes, he's going to give you 15 points. That's what I'm thinking Gallinari is going to do. And so that's what Boston needed. Boston missed that 15 points, and they missed it. They missed a few more assists, and that assist to ratio. They needed that to kind of be more assists than turnovers. And Brogdon fills that void, I believe. So that's an excellent trade, man. That's an excellent move. Thank you for Ninja for bringing that one up. That was an excellent trade. What's your thoughts, Cleveland?
Yeah, we'll see if it moves the needle. I mean, we'll see.
You don't think it moves the needle?
Again until the Brooklyn situation is resolved, we don't really know what's going to happen. So,
well, irregardless of what happens in Brooklyn, I mean, that has nothing to do with this. That's not lessening the Boston Celtics. Their team is still going to be strong.
yeah, but was that somewhat of an apparition? What happened last season, or do you think that they're going to continue?
How are you going to say that's an apparition? They've been in the Eastern Conference Finals 3 of the past 4 years.
Man, I'm not. I just don't feel them that strongly. So sorry. I don't think that move puts them back in the NBA Finals necessarily. I mean, we'll have to see what the other teams do.
Well,
a healthy Milwaukee, a motivated Philadelphia. I mean, like making a little bit of a difference. You know, perhaps a jumper away for a Jimmy Butler. You know, things are different. So,
okay, all right, man. Well, let's take a quick break here. You good? We can run right into some NFL topics. How you feel?
Quick break, 90 seconds.
90 seconds.
Right back. Alrighty.
Uh, my bad, Cleveland. So, man, let's talk about some NFL topics, bro. We got NFL right around the corner. NFL right around the corner, man, and let's jump right into it. Can't even sugarcoat this. Stephen Ross. I told you when this came up. If he the NFL did their investigation, they said they don't find any claims of him um, paying off Brian Flores for losing games. So they said that's not accurate, but they did find them and take away a draft pick for him trying to set up the meeting with Brian Flores and Tom Brady on his yacht. I knew there was something about Cleveland. I told you from day one, bro. I knew there was something about Brian Flores I didn't like, bro. I told you that from day one, from day numero uno. You gotta know how to play the game, man. You gotta know how to play the fucking game, dude. And then Flores, I blame you. Well, I kind of blame him, but clearly he doesn't know how to identify people. He's not a people person. Clearly, he's not a people person. He doesn't know. He leaves it in somebody else's hands to hire the coaches that he wants. So we keep hiring different coaches because he can't decide to how to hire the coach that he wants, the coach that he thinks will make a difference. He can't figure that out. So we keep hiring different people, right? Um, and so the two of them, the savant businessman and idiot people person, the owner, mixed with the non-people person, another non-people person who's learned something from so rigidly from another coach who takes nobody's input whatsoever, or you have to be a certain status for you to take his input. But because you don't let nobody into your circle, nobody reaches that status level that you approve, and so you're not taking nobody's input. And now you send this your mentor, your mentee down here to South Florida just to ruin shit, just to blow that whole organization up. And that apparently worked. That apparently worked partially. So you put Brian Flores and Stephen Ross together, and this is what you get: two numbskulls who can't figure out how to effectively tank and collude to get the most popular quarterback to play for their team. This is what we get. And we end up with an owner who now we lose two draft picks, a number one and number three. My question is, I want to know, was that number one ours or is that number one the one we acquired? It's probably ours. The Dolphins will, I don't think they would lose the one they acquired. So they lose the number one and the number three in next year's draft for tampering. Was that punishment enough? Do you think? What do you think about this whole scenario?
Yeah, I think it was punishment enough. I think this type of collusion and type of conversations go on a lot more than than we care to admit. Clearly, it was tampering. I mean, according to the rules, and you know,
But
um,
was Tom Brady already on the team? Was he already a Tampa Bay Buccaneer,
come on,
or
man, come
was
on, man.
he?
They went way deep with this, man. They went way deep with this. They
Where are
were
we
out of
going?
line talking to Sean the way they were talking to Sean. They was out of line talking the way to Tom. They were talking to Tom, and they were talking to the
I mean,
same
but the
agent
Tom. But
because
I'm just thinking
because
about
that
it. I'm
because the
just thinking
agent
about.
represents
But was
both
Tom
of
a free
them.
agent
So
though?
basically, what you're saying is they were just talking to the agent a lot, trying to gauge interest and whatnot, and that's not cool.
I mean, the
I
agent
mean,
had to. The
the
agent's
other
coming over
billionaires
for.
would have done the same thing if they were playing, if they weren't playing by the rules, right?
I mean, if they were smart, they would have got away with it. And that's what I'm saying right now. I got an
Okay.
idiot owner non-people person who can't identify what coach or who should be running this program. Dude, if you're gonna get somebody who's a tattletale to run your program, that's what Flores is. He started that shit with the receiver playing all this Jay Z music. You're completely off base. So when you get a tattletale like the Brian Flores in there, when
Oh,
you get it,
it's starting to come back to me.
when you get a tattletale like
I'm so sorry. Camp. It's starting to come back to me. It's starting to bubble. Oh,
what's that?
you're
What's
still
that?
mad about that Minka Fitzpatrick trade, aren't you?
Oh,
You're still mad about the highest paid safety wearing the black and you still mad about the
you
culture.
know what?
Aren't
You know what? I'm not taking your bait tonight. Tonight I'm not.
You're still mad about the culture.
No,
Yeah, Stephen Ross should have been calling that guy Tom Brady. Shouldn't be calling that guy Sean Payton, arranging covert conversations.
if you don't know how
and
to do it, don't make
negotiations.
the phone call. That's what I'm saying. Hire somebody who knows how to do this, Steven.
Well, that's who that guy was, the Bill guy. Hey, apparently
The
not that
Bill
great
guy.
at his job, and I mean it's
No,
hard to do right. It's
no,
hard to do these
identify
days, Cam.
again. Identify who your talent. Know your
The
audience.
world,
Know
the
who you're bringing in
world,
here.
the world is an open book right now. Nothing is secret. They don't want to be secret. All they have to do is want to know bad enough, Cam, and they find out. As Goodell did, which is
All
why
right. So since you try to dampen my spirits, I need some cheer me up a little bit. I need a little excitement here.
cheer yourself up, my dude.
I need some.
What you got?
I need something. Fans, can you see this? I need something to get excited about right here. Fans, can you see this? I want to make sure my fans can see this. Yeah, let's go there. There we go. There we go. There we go. I don't know what he's doing. Number 17.
Tannehill.
I
The
don't know what he's
Tannehill.
doing in 17 jersey. Huh? Listen, there must have been 50,000 people at that practice. 50,000. Did you hear how loud that was? Let's see
I
if we
sure
can
do.
hear how loud that was. Let's see. There must have been 50,000 people out there.
Must have been.
But, I mean, he said, "Get your popcorn ready." Oh, what do we have here? What do we have here? Tua drops back. Tua drops back. Oh, what's this? What's this? Oh, what do we have here? What do we have here? Oh, look at this! Look at this! What do we have here? It's another one. Oh, it's another one. It's bomb after bomb. Oh, all right, all right. I know we can't show them too much. We can't show them too much. We can't show too much. We can't show too much, fans. We can't show too much, fans. We gotta cut that off. We don't want to get too excited. We don't want to get too excited. What's your thoughts when you see Mr. Tyreek Hill doing his black backflips all on the Miami Dolphins sideline, talking to his fans? What's your thoughts on Mr. Tyreek Hill down in the 305 about to get ready to do his thing?
I mean, it all comes down to what Tua Tagovailoa can do if he can stay healthy and get him the ball where he needs it. And I have the utmost confidence in Tua being able to do that.
Oh, you don't have any confidence in Tua being able to do that?
Well, I have the utmost confidence in Tua being able to do that, unlike yourself.
Well, he still has to show it. He has to prove it.
Well, I mean, you jump on the back of a lot of other quarterbacks that hasn't been to the playoffs. I mean, in the same position that Tua Tagovailoa is. I'm just saying.
What are you? I don't understand. You're saying what? What are you just saying? I don't understand what you're saying. The fans don't understand what you're saying. You're not making any sense right now.
Yeah, you have all these caveats for Tua being your guy, but there's other players in the same situation that you just gravitate towards with a much stronger emphasis. Example, the Los Angeles Chargers quarterback. I'm just saying.
I mean, that's the rookie of the year you're talking about. The rookie of the year and last year,
AFC
starting for every
did they make the playoffs last year?
AFC starting Pro Bowl.
Did they make the playoffs last year?
I mean, they started a pro.
So he's
He
in the
was the
same
AFC
situation
West.
that Tua Tagovailoa is in. Yeah, Tua
No,
Tagovailoa
no, no.
arguably has better receivers. Who has better receivers?
Ooh, whoa, whoa, wait, time out. Time out. So Keenan Allen. So you're gonna say Hill over Allen? Is that what you're gonna tell me? Hill over Allen. Hill's more explosive, sure.
No, the question was real simple. Gesicki, Waddle, and Hill versus Allen and Williams and Everett. Which would you prefer? What that this is not like a
Wait, hold on.
complicated question.
Did the quarterback come with the? Did the quarterback come with the
No,
pairing? Or
I said who has the better receivers? Why are you trying to change the question?
because I'm asking when you say who has a better receiver, can I get the quarterback and the receiver combination, or do I just get the receivers? What I'm saying? What are we talking about here? Because if I get the quarterback and the receiver combination, I got to go with those LA Chargers. But if I get, yeah, I mean, if I get just the receivers, I mean, Williams and Keenan is showing what they're able to do. Both of them can get 1,000 yards in 1 year. Like Waddle and Hill. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of jet screens next week or next season. This season, excuse me. A lot of jet screens, a lot of underneath routes. It's gonna be a lot of that. And so their run yards after catch, they should have the best yards after catch in the league. With Wilson doing this thing on the other side too. So I mean, it's yet to be proven. But as of this moment, if you're asking me and you want to answer right now, who's the best receiving core, Cleveland, that's going to be Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay.
Do you argue? Do you argue that?
I 117% disagree with you, and you know that you're just talking out of your ass, man. You know that you don't really believe that receiving core over at the Chargers is better than Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Gesicki. You don't believe that.
Josh Palmer. So you haven't seen Josh Palmer play, number one. Mike
Oh,
Williams.
is that the difference?
Mike Williams. You talking about Mike Williams isn't better than Jalen Waddle or Tyreek Hill?
Nope.
I think Mike Williams. I mean, is he fast as Jalen Waddle? Come on, absolutely not. Did he catch 100 passes? No. Did he catch over 1,000 yards? Yes.
Man, you keep saying no, man. This is so silly, man. I'm so sorry that you're just being just jaded like that. That's terrible.
How am I being
This
jaded?
is not even a complicated question, man.
You see, you're
There's nothing complicated about this. Fans, is there anything complicated about this question? Who has the better receiving core?
Ninja, I don't. Cleveland, I don't know what he's talking about. Jalen Waddle.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Jalen Waddle.
Well, then I guess we'll just have to see when the season.
Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. I mean, come on, stop it. Are you Mike Williams and Keenan Allen?
So, which one of the Chargers receivers is better than Tyreek Hill? Okay.
So wait.
Moving on to the next subject. Hey, Karen, what's next on the list? What's next on the list?
But we're talking about the collective.
Nah. We can't.
We're talking about the collective. We're not talking about
what's next on the agenda. Moving right along here.
Woo! So I'm glad you're excited for the season though the Dolphins is about to have, boy. I'm glad Cleveland is finally excited. And he hasn't been this excited for a Dolphin season in 10 years. I'll tell you that, fans. He hasn't been that excited for a Dolphin season. And since that guy Russell was lining up for the Seahawks. That guy named Russell.
Okay. Cute.
Yeah. Waddle's a stud. He's gonna have a better year, yeah, but Waddle, Hill,
probably more one-on-one coverage, given the fact that Tyreek Hill is on his team, right?
but can
But
that
moving
quarterback
right along,
can
I
that
think
quarterback get him the
my
ball though?
previous question
That's gonna be a problem.
kind of
All
answered
right.
that situation.
So the NFL establishes this new rule. What is it? Their punishment rule. Now they're gonna have a outside arbitrator make a ruling on it, and then it goes to Roger Goodell if he doesn't like it or the league doesn't like it. They got 3 days to appeal it. So their outside arbitrator, the lady they brought in to do all their ruling, her first ruling, the NFL says no, we don't like it. She suggested Deshaun Watson get 6 games, 6 game suspension. NFL Players Association agreed not to appeal it or challenge it, and the NFL turns around and challenges it. Um, do they end up getting this? Do they throw this out and Deshaun Watson gets a lot more, or do they add a couple games to this suspension? What do you think?
Stays the same.
It stays the same, no change.
No
I don't
change.
think. If anything, it goes to 8. If anything, it goes to 8 because that way they'll say we did something. They're not going to appeal it and nothing happened. I mean, they're appealing them from themselves. Roger
Players
Goodell.
players appeal suspensions all the time, and most of the time nothing ever happens. This
No,
is a
no, no,
ruling
no,
that's
no,
already
no,
come
no,
down.
no. But when they players appeal, they appeal to the commissioner. The commissioner is appealing to himself and his group. So, do you think he's going to have himself and his group lose? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they're going to add at minimum 2 games. I think to say now they were pushing for a full season along. To say we're going to go from 6 games to a full season, I think that's a bit of stretch. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think they can go from 6 games to 10 games, maybe 6 games to 8 games, maybe somewhere in there. I think what will ultimately happen is Deshaun Watson will come back and then the Players Association will appeal whatever the the commissioner adds to it, and then it'll be back to a 6 game suspension all in all before the season's over. You follow what I'm saying? The
I
commissioner.
definitely do, which is why it's just a big circus in and of itself. You appoint someone to make an arbitrary decision, and then you don't like their arbitrary decision, so you appeal their arbitrary decision.
Right? Yeah, yeah. It's like, come on now. So I think ultimately, I think it'll be. Like I said, I think they'll go 6 to or they'll add 2 to 4 games on there. Deshaun Watson's group will appeal it, and then they'll be right back to it. But do you think that 6 games initial ruling was? How did you receive that?
It was light.
Yeah, I was surprised by that. But if the lady said they went off of history, and then she said another thing is Deshaun Watson didn't show any remorse. If maybe showed a little remorse or contrition, maybe he doesn't get any games. I mean, I don't know. Is Are they saying that this season or this suspension doesn't take into account last season the whole year that he missed? I mean, because it would seem like that would be one of his uh, arguments is I missed a whole year, so I should be able to play. Give me a couple games and let him play this season. That
He didn't miss the whole season because of this. He missed the whole season because he was untradeable.
well,
They could have played him.
they could have played him, but he didn't play because they didn't know, what was the deal was.
What could happen? Right.
Yeah, was he going to get suspended or is he legalized to play? So he didn't play for a number of reasons. But we'll see how this thing works out. It'll be interesting to see actually what the thing finishes up being. How many suspensions? Again, I state that commissioner will add 2 to 4 games that'll eventually get appealed, and then they'll be right back down to 6 games before we're at. Cleveland, a couple guys signed big deals this over the last couple of days. Your guy DK Metcalf and Debo Samuels signed their big deal contracts. Who's most impactful to their team?
Debo Samuel.
Drew Lock and Gino not linking up, or excuse me, Drew Lock and Metcalf not linking up,
To
or
be determined.
Geno Smith. I mean, what are we seeing in the videos? I mean, you didn't see him at
Nothing.
Dick's. They're not
Nope.
hanging out at Dick's. They're not at.
Nope.
They didn't go to the Torchlight Parade together.
He did not.
They didn't have a float or nothing.
Nope.
Oh, this sounds bad, man. This sounds bad. Are, are you guys still got Gino in your not Gino, but you still got Jimmy G in your head? You
Yeah,
think Jimmy G is still coming that way?
quite possibly.
Well, what if what if not Denver, but what if you guys in Charlotte pick him up?
Charlotte's already got Baker Mayfield. They don't need Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jacksonville, not
Jacksonville's already got
Jacksonville,
Trevor Lawrence. They
not
don't need
Jacksonville, but
Jimmy
Atlanta,
Garoppolo.
Atlanta.
Atlanta's already got Marcus Mariota. They don't need Jimmy Garoppolo.
Marcus Mariota, bro.
Yeah.
Marcus Mariota, bro.
Yep.
For real. That's what you think.
Number one pick in the draft, Heisman Trophy winner, has won several
Stop,
playoff games.
stop it. And
He
lost his
hasn't won
job.
several playoff games.
Lost his job to Ryan
Hasn't
Tannehill.
won several playoff games.
Lost his job to Ryan Tannehill. Come on.
How many playoff games Justin Herbert win?
Oh, what does Herbert have to do with it? What's your heart on for Herbert though? Because he's an
I'm
Oregon.
just saying, don't throw out playoff winning quarterbacks. You know, with the baby, don't throw the bathwater out with the baby. You know what I'm saying?
Well, how many playoff wins is Geno Smith going to have this season, or Drew Lock? How many? I mean,
Zero. They will have 0 playoff wins.
These Renton Rangers is looking pretty shabby, man. What are you guys going to do about these Renton Rangers? Have you been down to practice? Have you talked to Pete?
I've not been down to practice. Pete has COVID right now, so he's recovering.
Pete has. Oh, so that means there's no competition. There's no competition Wednesdays.
No, he's still coaching remotely. He just can't be with the players.
Oh, he coaching remotely. It's just like when the coach had surgery and he was up in the press box on the bed. It's just like is this the remote he's doing? Pete is on the bed.
Why is that funny? Pete has COVID and is coaching remotely. Why is that funny?
Oh, we sensitive over there, huh? We sensitive over there.
I'm just saying. Why is that? Is that a joke?
Well, you said
why is that funny?
You said he's coaching remotely, like that has some effect, like that has some impact.
He is still observing practice. He's still having input. He just has COVID right now. And no, we don't know who the quarterback is going to be. And yes, us in the 206 or 12s would prefer to be Jimmy Garoppolo other than Drew Lock or Geno Smith. I mean, that's not a mystery, right?
I mean, it would seem like you guys should have had a move, or you could have had Baker Mayfield weeks ago. But you guys,
that's not what happened. So this is where we're at right now.
Oh, look at they're sensitive up in Seattle. Is Rashad Penny now? I like Rashad Penny. Is Rashad Penny gonna finish the year for you guys at running back?
Has not finished the season ever. So would be remiss to say it's going to be this season that's going to happen. So
are we going to get 12? Are we going to get 1,200 yards out of Rashad Penny? This is what his third year.
If he stays healthy, possibly.
This is third or fourth year.
Fourth year.
Fourth year. I mean, what is there anything to be excited about with the Seattle Seahawks? Anything at all? You don't have your linebacker. You got rid of your longtime leader in tackles. You kicked him to the curb.
I don't know if excited is the right word. I mean, at every position, it's a wait and see for me.
So. Most teams are excited this time of year. Most teams are excited about their possibilities, their potential. About most teams are having themselves.
Most teams have not taken such a precipitous drop at the quarterback position.
Even the Detroit Lions. So. Even the Detroit Lions consider themselves a playoff contender right now.
They're just playing around. They're just lying to themselves, which is fine. No pun intended. Lying to themselves.
Oh, wow. He just made that up. He just made that. Don't break your arm trying to pat yourself on the back there, fella. So no excitement, no excitement for the Seattle Seahawks right now. No excitement for the season. That's what I'm hearing.
No,
that's too bad, man. That's too bad. That once was a proud franchise, man. Where you guys is
still very proud. Just not a lot of excitement this season. I mean, we'll have to see if some things kind of shake out in the preseason. If some players kind of step up and make that that leap. But so far, nothing.
Wow, that's surprising. I mean, I thought there would be more promise coming out of out of Renton, Washington, and them Renton Rangers. I thought there'd be more promise, more reason to be excited about these guys. But
Mhm.
yeah, unfortunately, it is what it is, fans. Um, Fans, let's jump into our This Week in History before we get into some fantasy football discussion. And want to ask, want to ask Cleveland, how serious are the Mariners? That's what I want to ask Cleveland. And I think there's one person, even though the trade deadline is over, just ended last week, and the Mariners. I applaud the Mariners because they were actually buyers. There was actually buyers. They're typically sellers. I mean, they typically a wholesaler for the Major League Baseball. So at this time of the year, they're typically selling off all their talent, and they have Cleveland talking about, oh, there's promise. We got these candidates. Um, what do they call them?
Prospects.
Prospects from other teams. We got all these prospects that we should be excited about, and rarely ever do they ever turn out. So it's going to be interesting to see. And when I'm speaking of prospects in the Seattle Mariners, it's going to be interesting to see how long that kid Julio Rodriguez, or excuse me, Julio. Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how my man Francisco Rodriguez stays on the squad there. That's going to be pretty interesting to see how long he stays in the Seattle Mariners uniform. Because you know what their history is. He'll have a Boston Red Sox jersey on next year in the quickness, and they just slide him a few prospects. They'll be like, "Oh, we got him. Okay, good, good. We don't have to pay somebody." That's how you guys do. That's how you guys do. Well, we're gonna talk about the Mariners in a minute. Before we get to the Mariners, Cleveland, let's do this week in history. Um, 1936, Cleveland. 1936, 8-3. Do you remember what happened on that day?
Uh,
August
thir-
3rd,
36 is
1936.
probably the Olympics, I'm assuming. So Jesse
Yep, yep.
Owens getting the four.
Jesse Owens, well, on this day is he got the first one,
First
first of
one.
the four Olympics on this day. 1949, August 3rd, 1949, the National Basketball Association was formed. It seemed like that just didn't seem right, right? It didn't seem right. 1949, but
Well, they were saying 75. I thought that's what I was hearing this whole
yeah,
season. So
75 was last season, but that's
math isn't
49,
quite working out, but
51. Yeah.
okay.
Oh, okay, that's what my history things tell me. Um, August 4th, 1897, Henry A. Rucker appointed Collector of Internal Revenue for Georgia. So IRS appointee there in 1897. 1934, Adolf Hitler merged the offices of Germany Chancellor and President, declared himself Fuhrer. He just merged them, said, "Now
It's
I'm
some
the captain now." He just,
consolidation of power, sounds like
I'm the
very
captain
high
now.
level.
And that was in 1934. He called himself Fur. Cleveland man Brittany Griner still locked up in said Russia country. You saw the show, Locked Up Abroad, man. You got to be careful when you go abroad. You just got to be careful, man. And what they say, not understanding is not an excuse for not knowing the law. Not knowing the law is not an excuse. So you got to know what you're doing, where you're going, who you're doing it with. You got to know that. Um, so though we hope she gets home, apparently she pled guilty, and now they're gonna do the sentencing whenever that is. But if she's not home first, what do you think about trading the trade for her for the other arms dealer? The what is it? The Merchant of Death, I guess his name
Yeah,
is.
Russia's certainly getting over in the trade. Yeah, I mean, if we were comparing it to like a sports trade, yeah, it's very lopsided.
Um, yeah, it's wild, but we'll see what happens. Would you do the trade if you're Biden? Do you make that trade?
You have to do it just from a public
PR
relations
standpoint, right?
standpoint.
Yeah,
I mean, on paper, it looks pretty weird trading someone that's blown up countries adverse someone who had a vape pen in their backpack. That's
right, right.
not an apples to apples comparison. So yeah,
It's bananas. You're right, man. You're right. It's really crazy. It's a crazy comparison, but this is where we are, right? This
for
is
sure.
this is where we are. So it is wild, man. Excuse me, Cleveland. So we also have Vince Scully passed away, man. We lost Bill Russell over the weekend. Vince Scully, long time Dodgers. Well, he did a lot of sports: baseball, football. He did some basketball, golf. But he's widely known for uh, his line, "It's time for Dodgers baseball." Vince Scully, and they say that at every game now. They have fans like before the baseball games chant that out. What's your lasting memory of Vince Scully?
Just that he was the voice of baseball, and the way a lot of announcers kind of make themselves kind of like in the same way that John Madden is the voice of football, or Hubie Brown is the voice of basketball. He's just always been kind of he was the Dodgers announcer for 67 years, so my entire life until he retired. So it's just one of those very familiar voices that you always kind of are synonymous with the sport and the team. So
Um, yeah, definitely synonymous with the Dodgers. I mean, he did the Dodgers, I think, for over 50 years. So, yeah, definitely,
67 years.
yeah, definitely synonymous with the Dodgers and Dodgers baseball, as I stated. I mean, he wasn't John Madden to me, so uh, he was good. He did it for a long time, but he wasn't Madden. So I don't know where do you classify him as being among the greats of the greats? Where do you classify him as?
I mean, as far as being a storyteller, I think he's second to none. As far as kind of how he, you know, carried himself on and off the field, I think is pretty high up there. I mean, he's called what they say 20 no hitters, 25 World Series games. I mean, he's
Mhm.
or 25 World Series, excuse me. So yeah, he's way up the list.
Yeah, he's certainly up the list. Just didn't know where you had him as he ranked him among again. To me, I mean, he wasn't John Madden, but that what is that? What is that? Um, all right, Cleveland. Let's talk about some fantasy football, man. You got some sleepers, man, that you're looking forward to this season.
No sleepers. I'm just going all with juggernauts, and it just depends on where they fall to me, where I pick in the draft, and whichever one's available, I'm gonna go out there and snatch them up. That's the philosophy and the strategy this year.
Oh wait, so wait, are you trying to? You're not trying to have the conversation of who the best in the game is, or what? Is that would you
Oh
trying
no,
to?
for sure, no, yeah, no. I mean, the best in the game are who they are. I mean, this it's complete total transparency.
Hmm, okay, all right. Well, who do you have? Let's name off some of the. What you want to do? Running backs or receivers?
Let's go with my running back list here, fans. It's pretty simple. It's pretty
What?
elementary.
Christian
I'm trying to
McCaffrey,
make it all confusing and whatnot.
Christian McCaffrey,
It's
Derrick
really not.
Henry.
It's really not. It's Jonathan Taylor. It's Derrick Henry. It's Christian Jackson McCaffrey.
Again.
It's Dalvin Cook and his Los Angeles Chargers from a fantasy football perspective. What they call him? Second in that. Bar none. Oh, excuse me, bar none. Yeah, Austin Eckler. hmm Bar none. Comes in at number 5.
Wow, that's a strong list. So you got Taylor, you said Henry, Cook, Eckler, and well McCaffrey, then Eckler.
My list actually went Taylor, Henry, McCaffrey, Cook,
Oh,
Eckler.
so I had Cook. Okay, that's not a bad list. Taylor, we know is going to get a lot of carries. He's going to get a lot of carries. He's going to be the bell cow. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with Taylor. Henry is like the same. Henry, they're in a situation where they need to protect their quarterback. So to protect their quarterback at all costs, that means give Derrick Henry the ball 450 times this season. So yeah, he's going to get some carries. Dalvin Cook. There's a few players I would take before Dalvin Cook at this point. I like Cook. I like what he's on the same team as the same situation as Derrick Henry is. He's on a team that needs to protect their quarterback, and when protecting their quarterback means giving their running back the ball in excess of 350 times. So uh, that's not a bad pick. However, I'm taking Najee Harris before Dalvin Cook. Najee Harris again, same similar situation. Fans, you got to look at it. Um, and Austin Eckler is going to be a complimentary back. Let me see. Austin Eckler should be a complimentary back. Okay. Christian McCaffrey, is he going to stay healthy? That's the only question we have right at this point. Is he going to stay healthy? We know if he's on the field, he's going to get the carries, but is he going to stay healthy? That's my question for him. That's why I wouldn't have him in my top five. Top five. I would replace McCaffrey with Joe Mixon, because again, with Joe Mixon's on an explosive offense. Not only is he going to run the ball, but he's going to catch passes out the backfield. So I would put Joe Mixon in on that list instead of McCaffrey. So my list: Derrick Henry, or excuse me, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Najee Harris. I'm going Joe Mixon, and then I would have. You can't argue with the production that the complimentary back Austin Eckler has had for you. So what do you think of that list there?
I mean, it's subjective. I see the logic behind it. I mean, only time will tell. But I like my
Well,
list better.
well, of course you like your list better because you got an injury prone McCaffrey at number two, Derrick Henry
No,
at,
I have Christian McCaffrey number 3.
oh, you have Derrick Henry. I mean, we can't argue Derrick Henry. Is he going to get hurt again? We don't know. But at some time, those wheels gotta. And sometimes those wheels can't be running like they've been running. I mean, he's running going against grown men doing this stuff. So we'll see if he's able to continue that. You got Dalvin Cook. I'm not mad at that. Mixon, they're right there. They're right there in the same category. Um, so that's our running backs, man. Anybody we didn't talk about? Uh, anybody you think honorable mentions in this category?
No, not really. I think we're good.
And then your wide receivers.
Oh well, you got your
I mean,
Cooper
you got
Cups.
a lot of them.
You got your
So
Cooper Cup.
well, can we go sleeper? I mean, or
No,
you want to go
no,
top
no,
five?
no,
You
no,
just want
top
to go
five. Top five.
top
Mhm.
five? Okay,
Cooper Cup.
okay.
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams top five in Oakland or in
Ty.
Las Vegas?
Ty. Rikazoid
Wait,
Hill.
hold on. Wait. Time out. Time out. I mean, I'm stunned. You have Devontae Adams being the number two receiver. Playing he played for the Raiders now, right?
Yes, I was
Okay.
aware.
Okay. All right, Freakazoid.
Can I continue with my list, or
Yeah. I don't know if I'm getting a true
let me
list.
start? Let me start from the top
I
again.
don't know if I'm getting
Cooper
the true
Cup.
list. There's two names on here
Cooper
that
Cup is number 1.
I know I'm not
Devontae
getting the
Adams
true.
number 2.
Okay.
Tyreek Hill is number 3.
Okay.
Justin Jefferson is number 4.
Finally, you got this guy at number four.
Paper
Okay.
Chase is number 5.
Oh, this list is BS. This is BS. You put your you put Jamar Chase at number 5. He's fans. I've been with this guy for too long for him to try to pull some this on me. And luckily we're not drafting tomorrow, but he wants to be all sensitive, and he throws Jamar Chase. If you guys only knew how he's been drooling over Jamar Chase last season, he didn't play his senior year in college, and the year before that,
To the chagrin of Cameron Buford, you see what a you know a disgrace that was. I mean, you see how disparaging that was to his future success. Not playing.
uh, and you got him at number 5. Cleveland, stop it.
Yeah.
I don't know who you expect. We're not drafting tomorrow. We're not in this draft, Cleveland.
We're not drafting tomorrow. You asked the
not
question, Cam. Who are the top 5 receivers in fantasy football?
Cleveland, Jamar Chase is number 2. You know that. Cooper Cup is Cooper Cup. Is he going to have the production he had last year? You can't argue it because he continues to have great production. Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase are neck and neck, 1 and 2, number 1 and 2. I'm gonna have to go Jamar Chase because he has a better quarterback throwing to him than Justin Jefferson. But I'm just blown away how you had Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase at the end of your top 5. It's just surprising to me. Devontae Adams, he's not going to have the same. He's not going to have the same impact as he had in Green Bay with Rodgers throwing on the ball. He'll be good. He'll have a decent season, but it won't be with Rodgers throwing. He won't have the same season with Derek Carr throwing it to him as he would have with Aaron Rodgers throwing to him. It's not going to happen. So therefore, Jamar Chase, or excuse me, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. I go Deebo Samuels because he's going to get the ball in every kind of way. The coach is already going to scheme in ways of getting the ball when he comes off the airplane. If they could pitch it to him at the airport, they probably would. And I have to agree with you. I'll put Tyreek Hill number 5 because he's going to catch a whole lot of. He's going to catch a whole lot of bubble screens, and those jet sweeps. They're going to him and Jamar Chase. They're going to have the linebackers in the NFL looking both ways, left and right, not knowing what happened. So that's going to be surprising in the NFL. So I'll put Tyreek Hill number 5. What do you think of my list?
I'm not impressed at all.
You're not impressed with Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. You're not impressed with those guys. That's good. That's good. That's good. You're not.
I mean, they're on my list. I mean, I'm just saying your list is very subjective, man. It doesn't take into consideration, what receiver production has been the last couple of years. Cooper Kupp's not even on your list, right? I mean, I got that right.
Yeah,
right?
You did.
Okay. Well, yeah, man.
You got Deebo Samuel.
Cooper Kupp's not on your list.
I guess Deebo Samuel is a bum too, huh? I guess he's no good either.
So Cooper Kupp's not on your list, right?
Right. Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, so that throws the list out because Cooper Kupp's not on it. Okay. So Cleveland, I got a question for you, man. Your Mariners.
Yeah.
I mean, last week it would have been you'd have had just check stuff out because they were 10-0 in their last 10 games. This week they're 6-4, 11.5 games back. If they were really serious about winning, Cleveland, why don't they go sign Theo Epstein?
DePoto's doing a fantastic job. I mean, he's pulling strings. I mean, Jerry DePoto, the general manager and president of the team.
How many World Series rings did he have?
Oh, he has 0 at present.
Oh, did he win rings in Chicago for the Chicago Cubs, the lowly Chicago Cubs?
Well, I mean, he doesn't have the Chicago Cubs payroll, so
Did he? Did
he's
he?
not really able to make the same kind of moves that the Chicago Cubs were able to
Did
make.
did he? Did he win anything uh, in Boston? Did he help turn around that historical program who hadn't won anything for years?
Again, you're talking about one of the top five payrolls in Major League Baseball, so he didn't have that kind of payroll either. He didn't inherit a team with Manny Ramirez and David Ortiz on it.
Okay, and what do you do?
So for example,
Again, Theo Epstein went to and won. There was a franchise who hadn't won in 108 years. Theo shows up in 2 years. They win a World Series.
it
Two.
wasn't 2 years.
What was it?
It wasn't 2 years.
For who? The Cubs didn't win in 2 years. Well, how long did it take the Cubs to win?
5 years.
Oh, excuse me, 5 years. Oh, okay. So you can't wait 5 years. I mean, you've been waiting 20 years just to get to the playoffs.
Hey, first things first. Let's just get to the playoffs. You're right. But for now, they have Julio Rodriguez on their team, and they're getting healthier, and they'll be okay.
They're getting healthier. That's the same shit we've been hearing for 20 years.
Okay. Well,
You still have them going to the playoffs?
I still have them going to the playoffs.
Just for shits and grins. You still have them making the playoffs?
Yes.
Well, fans, you heard it here. Cleveland, you got any random questions, man? You got any random thoughts you want to share with the people?
I do have a random thought. I was looking at the top 10 most profitable NFL franchises, and I found it quite interesting that both of the New York teams, which have not made the playoffs in forever, are in the top 10. The team in Chicago is in the top 10. The team in Los Angeles, one of, is in the top 10, and the other is in the top 12.
Really?
And one of the teams in Houston is in the top 10. So what does that tell you?
You just named large markets.
The four cities with the largest population have 5 of the 12 most profitable NFL teams in the NFL. Does not matter if you make the playoffs. Does not matter
because there's revenue sharing.
No. The franchise. The value of the franchise. The most valuable franchise was the Dallas Cowboys by far, by $2 billion in comparison to the second place franchise. This may be over your head, Cam, and I understand that because you might be looking at this way different, but it's a very simple formula. The biggest cities have the most profitable franchises.
That was an obvious thing, right?
No, but it wasn't to some people. Some people think that small markets can, flourish and thrive and don't have a disadvantage. But I was just pointing this points it out much differently.
So but you're saying the most profitable franchises are in the bigger cities. I think that I don't think that was. I think that's kind of obvious. But that doesn't make them the best teams because they're in the bigger cities. Hence, the Giants and the Jets are in the top 10 most profitable.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Cameron. They are the most profitable teams, but just because you're the most profitable in the biggest cities doesn't necessarily make your team successful.
But you just said you was okay. I didn't understand that point because I thought you were saying that teams in small markets, people say teams in small markets can be also profitable and win, or they can be winning teams in small markets, and which is true because of your because they do have revenue sharing. Because you're in a big market doesn't mean automatically mean you're the most dominant team. That's in baseball. The more money you spend, it happens to most oftentimes you're the most money team. The teams with the highest payroll are often the winning teams, right? In baseball.
Yes, baseball does not have a salary cap in the way the other sports have a salary cap.
Well, that's interesting. That's an interesting point you pulled out. So thank you for sharing that with the group. Um, I want to share with the group fans that leaders are made and they are made of effort and hard work. That's from your guy, Vince Lombardi. Leaders are made and they are made of effort and hard work.
Hmm.
So we can keep working hard. Cleveland, you're going to be a leader one day. It's just not in my fantasy football team this season, buddy. Not on my fantasy football league
Oh
this season.
yeah,
You'll
yeah. I'm
be
sure as a commissioner, I probably will be drafting like 14th or 15th.
I mean, probably 9 out of 12, buddy. Probably
Yeah,
more than likely.
probably.
Yeah, yeah. Fans, want to thank you guys for tuning in. You got anything you want to add to the show? Please hit us up at underscore voice of the fans at underscore voice of the fans. You can I checked the Twitter page and I'm there to respond to anything you guys got going on. Cleveland, how can the people find you?
At Clevie Wonder on Twitter, Cleveland Still on Instagram.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Cleveland, thank you for being a part of the show. And we will talk to you soon and see you next week.
Right on, bro.